This week, we are going to be creating some forms that let you create topics and entries, and you can also edit the entries. We will be adding a registration and login section as well, and we are going to force the users to log in before they can add topics. We're also going to associate topics with the user that has added them. So the topics and their entries will belong to very specific users. We are not going to get into styling until next week. So for those of you who kind of cringe at the plain looking site, you are going to have to cringe for another week before we add our bootstrap styling. So chapter 19 is what we're going through this week. And the lecture portion of this expands on what's in the book. I've included links. The book talks about the model form helper class. There's some examples. I've included additional examples and a link to all of the different field types because the book doesn't cover them all. This does. This is the django documentation. So you can come in here and any type of field that you would want to use is in here. And there's also quite a few examples for you to look at. I did include some of the more popular ones here. Then we talk about overriding the defaults. Django has a lot of conventions and defaults. And so how do you override some of those? At least the ones that deal with your model, which ends up being your table in your database. After we go through the information that was in the book, the general information that we get into our hands-on, where you are going to create an insert topic form. You're also going to create a new entry form. And I'm going to give you a little heads up. I did find a typo in the book, and it's on this highlighted line. They had topic underscore ID equals topic underscore ID, which is incorrect and will give you an error. So make sure you make this correction where you've got topic underscore ID equals topic dot ID. And that's the way it is in all of the other functions that are in the views file. It's just that this particular one had a little typo. Otherwise, you should be able to kind of work through the book. I double checked to make sure everything was correct, and it is. And when you are all done creating those entry forms and the edit form for your entries, in addition to adding the registration and login pages, you are going to have something that looks like this. And you can see that I'm logged in. So I'm going to log out. And the way that this is going to work is that if you try to view topics, it makes you log in. And the topics are associated with a specific user. It's the user who added them. So this is my super user account. And when I initially set this up, I assigned all the existing topics to me. So I have a lot, and you guys will be doing the same thing. And then I can go ahead and add a new topic. Lug nut counting. Interesting life I lead. Okay, so here's my topics. If I go into any of them, I can add entries. So widget counting, spending hours, counting colorful widgets. All right, so I add my entry. And then you'll see that we can now edit the entries. Spend minutes counting colorful widgets. Okay, and then I can go back to topics. And if I log out, I can log in as a different user. And I can also register a user. This is what the registration looks like. Once I register a user, then I could go ahead and log in using that account. I guess I'll show you how to do this. This is, I'm going to be Wilma Flintstone. Okay, so now I am registered. I have no topics. So I should be able to add a topic. And let's see. Okay, so there's my topic. If I go in there. How to manage. So Wilma, you can see, is got a topic number of 10. And Wilma can only see her own topics. If she tries to view anybody else's by directly accessing it, it'll take us to an error screen. And we'll customize that error screen in chapter 20. But in chapter 19, you set it up to route to the error screen if they try to backdoor and view somebody else's topic. And what if we want to delete a topic or edit a topic? Because we have the edit entry, but we don't have that for topic. So for right now, you'd have to actually go into the administration section, as the super user. And the super user can do everything. So under topics is the topics for all of the users. And you simply put a check mark next to it and you can delete any of the topics. And then if you select a topic, you could make a change to it and save it. You could actually reassign the owner. There's all sorts of things you can do as the super user, but any kind of fix that you would need to make, you can do in this administration section. So as you're walking through the lecture demo and completing the hands-on, you're going to first complete the add and the edit sections, and then you're going to be adding the login and the registration. And then the last step is going to be connecting everything to ensure that the topics are associated with specific users, and those users can only view their own topics. Because the app is not deployed yet, you are going to have to give me some screenshots. And I do have an example of what those should look like at the very bottom. Okay, so here's the registration, here's the login, here's the topic, here's the entries. So that is what I need to see. And I also need to see that you did the error. So these are the screenshots that you are going to need to turn in. You can either put them in a Word document and upload that, or you can save each one as a graphic and upload them that way. It does not matter to me how you turn them in, as long as I can see that you completed this. At this point, you are going to be able to start on your term project, and you'll be able to do everything except the styling and the deployment. So you'll be able to wire up your entire app. You'll be able to do the models. You'll be able to do all of your forms. The only thing you're not going to be able to do yet is make it look pretty and deploy it. Okay, those you'll be able to do after we get done with chapter 20. After you have deployed the app, then you're going to work on your showcase. And these are the instructions for that. It's going to be a video that you create demoing the project. And you can demonstrate it live off Heroku, or you can just demo it off of your local host. I would like you to talk about the design and specifically answer these questions, and then demonstrate how to use your app. Okay, I'd also like you to cover any problems that you encountered and how you fixed those problems, and what your plans are for future releases. Okay, and then for the discussion forum, you're going to post a link to your Heroku app, and you're going to upload your video. And your term project and showcase are not due until May 1st. And that will give everyone a week to review it before we're done with the semester. So once those are posted, you will have until May 7th to review everything. If you run into problems or if you have questions, let me know, and have an awesome week.